Hi, this is Nelson Ranch. So, for those of you who watched my video, you know that I won the. She wants to eat pancakes again. So you know that I was able to win the championship meeting at the Arc de Triomphe. The 2400-meter classic race with Tamama Cross. So she's here. But what I want to talk about a little bit is, some thoughts about this, and about the upcoming League of Heroes, and also the previous 3,000-meter one. So this is the Tamama Cross that won. The winning rate is kind of crazy. It's 45%. And the other one that won crazy is Mr. CB. She won 30%. I mean, she won 50%. So I had to actually ask the question why. And I know people were saying that they should try and pump up the guts as high as they can, because there's going to be this gimmick where the gut is going to increase the speed at the end of the race. And there were also people saying that no, you should actually increase your stamina, because there's a gimmick that increases your speed if you have the stamina bonus. I didn't know which one was better. I actually went with the stamina, because if you actually increase the guts, what that means is you probably don't have enough stamina to run the race without a recovery skill. So you have to put points into a recovery skill. And instead of doing that, I prefer to actually raise my stamina. And if I actually raise my stamina enough, then my guts is going to be high enough. It won't be like super high, like 1200, like what some people were suggesting, but it would be high enough, and I won't have to actually spend points on recovery skills. So if you actually look at this Mr. CB, she has no recovery skills. And the same for this Tamama Cross as well. The stamina is high enough that I don't have any recovery skills. The other question was, whether or not you should load up on gold skills. So this Tamama Cross, I went with the theory that maybe you should load up in gold skills. And so she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gold skills. And this CB is a character that has only 8 gold skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some characters have even fewer gold skills. I think this Rudolph has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gold skills. And I don't know which is better, to load up on gold skills. The problem is that if you load up on gold skills and your skill doesn't proc, and the skill that doesn't proc is a gold skill, you lose out big. Whereas if you only, don't proc a white skill, then you don't lose out that big. So I don't know which is better for this, because one thing I noticed with this Tamama Cross is that I loaded up on corner skills. So never give up is a corner skill. The Professor of the Curve is a corner skill. So if these two skills proc, and another corner skill like this corner skill, or if a skill like this procs somewhere along the way, then this skill procs, the tail, right? So when 3 skills proc, this skill procs in the middle of the race. And when essentially 3 gold skills, Professor, Never Give Up, and this procs, then this Tamama Cross can basically go from like 8th or 9th place all the way up to 4th, 5th, and at the very least 6th place, right? If I'm lucky, if I'm lucky, if I'm really lucky, she can go up to 4th place, and if I'm lucky, she should be up to 6th place. So in the corner, which is actually quite hard to pass, this is a character that can actually get to the point where it's necessary, so that the acceleration skill procs. This skill will only proc if you're in 1st to 6th place. And I've got Celios, which procs if I'm in 3rd to 5th place, and that's Anabolic, which procs when I'm in 6th place. So if I'm in 3rd to 6th place, these 2 skills plus this skill will proc, and I can zoom forward, right? So 2 acceleration skills will proc just at the right moment. And because Tamama Cross was often in like 3rd or 4th place, there was a possibility of me choosing to pick either Take Shuttle's unique skill or Nishino Flower's unique skill, because those skills proc when you're in 3rd or 4th place. I chose not to use one of those skills, and I kind of regretted it, because during the in this run, I actually had a chance to pick one or the other. I forget which one. I think it was Nishino Flower's skill, but I had a chance to pick that skill, but I chose not to, because I wasn't so sure how high you can go up with 2 goals, well, 3 gold skills procking. Turns out that you could go high enough that, you know, Nishino Flower skill may have come quite handy, and it may have actually led to more victories. I mean, I'm just rambling along at this point, but I don't know. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is actually because the upcoming League of Heroes is a mile event, and in a mile event, the shape of the course is basically the same as the 2400 that we just did. So you basically have a straight line. Well, technically in this 1600 Kyoto mile, the first 200 meters so is not a straight line or corner, so none of the straight line skills proc, none of the corner skills proc. So you know you have to, and supposedly umagonomi doesn't really work that well. So you have to have, if you're a leader, you have to have the skill that Take Shuttle has. So this skill here. If you're a leader or a runner, you want to have this skill that Take Shuttle has. Just find her. This one here. Right. So when you get close to the midsection of the race, you go forward. Like if you are a betweener, maybe you might want to use this too. I don't know, but I think you have to be like in the first 5 for this to proc. So you want to be a runner or a leader to use this skill. Anyway, so this skill is probably going to be useful, and this skill that Fujikiseki has, Anegohada, will also probably be useful for characters to go forward in that first 200 meters where it's not a corner or a straight line. Anyway, that's not that important. The point is that you have this section where it's basically a straight line, and then there is a curve, and then you enter the acceleration phase. So it's exactly the same as Longshan 2400. There's a straight line, you go up the hill, and then as you go downhill, there's a curve, and then towards the end of that curve, there is an acceleration phase. So although this is the mile, many people are saying you need to load up on, you know, these early skills, these straight line skills, because once you get into the curve, it's actually quite hard to pass other characters on the curve because you have to go outside and you have to run longer distances. Now it turns out that you can do it if you have a character like Tamama Cross that basically can just proc, pop, 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 you know, those corner skills, and get the gold version of the what do you call it? Tail, right? So Tamama Cross can get, you know, if 2 corner skills proc, you know, then this skill will proc, and she can actually go forward in the middle of the race, even if it's a curve, and she can go forward. Now the reason why you need to go forward is because if you're not forward, the acceleration won't proc, and the acceleration skill for the mile is obviously Gold City's acceleration skill from the support card, the Guts Gold City card, and it's exactly the same as, you know, El Condor Pasa's acceleration skill. Basically, you have to be in 1st to 6th place. You have to be in the top 6 for this skill to proc. And this is the reason why people are saying that it's going to be tough for chasers and betweeners in this, because in the League of Heroes, it's not 9 characters that are running; it's actually 12 characters running, and you gotta be in, you know, you gotta be in the top 6. And you know, if the NPCs loads up on runners and not betweeners, if the NPC loads up on runners and leaders, if you have a betweener or a chaser, it's almost impossible for you to get to that 1 to 6 spot and hit that acceleration. So that's why people are saying, many people are saying that you should run a runner and a leader for the upcoming League of Heroes. And when you run that runner or leader, you want to make sure that you load up on straight line skills so that you are forward when you enter that curve, because once you enter that curve, it's actually hard to surpass. But seeing how Tamama Cross actually functioned in the Longshan 2400, it may be possible that you can just drop instead the straight line curves and just bank everything straight line and just bank everything on the curve, and you just load up on curve skills. So you get Never Give Up, Professor of the Curve, and you get a downhill skill that you get from El Condor Pasa, and you know, other skills that might proc in the middle of the race, like the skill that Mejiro Lamone gives from the intelligence card, and then zoom past the characters even if you are still in the curve. right? And then you can actually hit that acceleration phase at an advantage. And if you actually do this, then the added advantage is that when you enter the acceleration phase, your character is already at a higher speed. So you don't need to accelerate as much. You're not going from like the standard speed and then you accelerate and you hit that max speed. You're actually at a higher speed and then you accelerate. So um, this is going to be pretty interesting. I'm not exactly sure what the best way forward just is yet. But for this upcoming League of Heroes, I'm probably going to go with the same Team 1997 that I did last time for the short distance, which basically means Onige Suzuka, Silent Suzuka as an Onige, because if you're the Onige, then there's a high chance that you get the first place, so the acceleration skills proc. So like these acceleration skills only proc if you're in first place, and you pair this up with Gold City's high voltage, and she should zoom forward. And anyone who actually sends out a runner or below will not be able to get that first race spot. Now the only problem is that if I encounter another Oniga, then I'm going to sink, but I'll just accept that as, I'll just write that off as a loss. I don't know how many people are going to send out an Oniga, but I suppose if you don't want your Oniga to sink, then what you can do is you can load up on stamina. So you have like 1600 speed, 1200 stamina, and you just basically do Silent Suzuka as like a long distance character for this one. I think it's kind of nuts, but it's probably doable. So you can do that. And then the two leaders that I had in Team 1997 was Taik Shuttle, so I'll probably use Taik Shuttle once again, and I'll use Seeking the Pearl. Where are you, Pearl? There she is. So I already started putting hint books in her. So I've already put in hint books here, hint books here, hint books here, and hint books for level 1 for the 2 gold skills. I'm going to put hint books in for Taik Shuttle and for Silent Suzuka. So the Team 1997 will be further beefed up for this mile. The problem is that when we did the short distance League of Heroes, people didn't have this many hint books in the first place, so I was playing on even field. Now that everybody's got hint books, they'll probably also put hint books into the characters that they're going to throw into the field, so we'll see how they do. Once again, I'm basically shooting for Platinum 4. I don't think I'm going to be in the top 300. I mean, the last time I did the short distance 300, I was in the top 300 for like 30 minutes. That's good enough for me. I think if you really want to hit that, top 300 spot, you have to like, train your characters like crazy. But I'm just not gonna. I'm just too lazy. I spent too much time and effort to do my other day job, and I can't spend that much time on this game, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna take this upcoming League of Heroes pretty easy, like the last 3000. Play with the Team 1997. Get the Platinum 4. This time around, I'll give the Platinum Hero to the hero story to either Suzuka or to Seeking the Pearl, because Taiki already got it once. So if you actually look here, this is the thing you can get. It's down here. Right, the Heroic Tale of Taiki Shuttle. This is the Heroic Tale of Tamama Cross. I've got it twice for her, because she got it once for the mid distance and once for the long distance. So there's that. Now, having said that, once the League of Heroes is over, then we get the championship meeting again, most likely. That's going to be in December. And if it's December, it's most likely going to be the Arima Kinen 2500 long distance. For this Arima Kinen 2500, I will not send out Tamama Cross. Tamama Cross has already won a 2500 long distance for me, so I'm not going to send her out for the same exact race once again. That just seems kind of weird. Then I'm rather give characters different characters a chance to win the 2500. I think the last time the 2500 was run, I sent out Measure Palmer. Not this one, but I sent out Measure Palmer, and I was matched up with, I think, another Oniga and vegetable bomber sank. That really, annoys the crap out of me. But such is life. So this time I'm across, just won the 2400. This time I'm across, won the 3200 long distance as a chaser. And this time I'm across won the 2500 long distance as a chaser. So this was in December. So yeah, she had rank S. God, intelligence only 314, but I had high speed and high power. This was in the very first year. And these are the cards that I used, right? So I was a big believer in power way back when. I guess that's what it looks like, right? Because I wasn't using Creek here. I was using Rice Shower. So yeah, I had two recovery skills because with low intelligence. I was pretty sure one of these wouldn't proc. But yeah, she won that 2500 long distance for me. So all the characters with the chocolate cake has won championship meetings for me. So there you go. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do if it's not the 2500 meters Arima Kinen. There's a possibility that it's gonna be the 2000 meter dirt because the Tokyo Daishoten also happens in December. Don't know. To be perfectly honest, I don't know if that's going to happen. In the beginning of December, there's the 1600 dirt mile, but so it's most likely going to be the 2500 Arima Kinen. It's the most famous race in Japan in December. So I mean, I just don't see why they would not do that. But it's possible that they might do the 2000 meter dirt or the 1600 meter dirt, in which case, such is life. We will go with that. But the reason why I suspect that it's going to be the long distance is because January is going to be League of Heroes and February is going to be championship meeting, and then it's going to be the anniversary and we get a new scenario. And the championship meeting so far has been mid-distance, dirt. So it was already the dirt that they did. That was Kopano Ricky won that for me. They did the mid-distance. So they'll probably do the long for December, and then my guess is for February, they'll probably do the short because they haven't done the short championship meeting yet, which means the January League of Heroes might be dirt. There might be a dirt League of Heroes in January because I don't think we've had a League of Heroes that's dirt, and we have a lot of dirt characters now. So, this is looking into the future. I don't know what's really going to happen, and, just rambling on about various things. So, to once again, settle everything out. The theory is that for this upcoming League of Heroes, you should load up on straight line skills. So you're in the front of the pack when you enter the curve, so that it's going to be easier to maintain your position, and then you can launch that acceleration skill so you can actually, win the race, or you can actually get 1, 2, 3 spots in the race because this is the League of Heroes. My feeling is that it may be possible to load up on corner skills, and that you'll actually be able to surpass the other characters who don't load up on corner skills. Specifically, you want to load up on Never Give Up and Professor of the Curve. If you have these two skills and another skill that'll proc after that, like Tail, it'll push you forward. And then you can enter the acceleration phase at a higher speed and at in front of the pack because you surpassed the characters who didn't actually put in that many skills in the corner. I don't know if that will happen, okay? But it's one way to think about what might happen. So, two possible strategies. You probably do want to run, runners and leaders for this one. runners slash leaders for this one. That part's not going to be different. So that's for the League of Heroes. And then in the future, it most likely scenario that I foresee is 2500 long. Then Dirt League of Heroes for January. Then a short championship meeting for February. So there you go. Looking forward, rambling on and looking forward to what's going to happen in the future. And in a few hours, the new gacha for Majora Ramon is going to be up, and that's going to be quite something. I seriously don't know if I want to pull for her. The one problem is that for most people, their best speed card, and for me, my best speed card is Lamone. And the problem is you can't use this speed card when you actually are going to train Major Lamone. I mean, I luckily have other speed cards. Like I have Sarah Simbali here, and her gold skill isn't going to be useful for the mile, but I can actually end that gold skill with this event here and get this instead. So that's actually a useful skill to have. I also have Nice Nature as a level 50 SSR speed card, and I'm probably not going to use Narita Taishin, but I have Narita Taishin, and I think the other speed card that I have that's actually quite good. If this was level 50, Karen-chan, and I used to use this card, but I don't use this card now, Seigun Sky. So I do have speed cards, so I probably will pull for Major Lamone. I don't know about other people. If you don't have a really powerful speed card, then you may want to think about it and just hold off on Major Lamone and just buy her with a ticket when the 3rd anniversary shows up. So, it also depends on how much jewels you have. Like, luckily I have 30,000 jewels, so I can do it. Anyway, I rambled on long enough. The other problem is that Gold Ship is coming up next as a support card. And if the Gold Ship support card is very good, especially since Gold Ship is in the current 3rd season anime, it might behoove me to pull for Gold Ship instead. In which case I can't pull for Major Ramon. So we'll see. We'll see in like 3 hours. How good how good the support card is, and how good Major Ramon is, and you might see me pull a gacha at that point. All right, so that's it, and I'll see you guys around. Take it easy. Bye bye.